Okay guys, we're going to show you the correct way to use the Gasket Pro Tools speed loader. What we're showing you here is how to install the extension plate, which is about a 6-inch wide plate. It extends the two loaders 6 inches to help fill the windows gap. Now what we're showing you here, this is putting the speed loader, actual loader tool in, and these things are made out of metal. So when you put these things in, you have to use common sense. Don't put it at an angle and dig into the door panel, because yes, it is stainless steel, and yes, it will cut the panel, but the outcome is far better than the risk that you take if you use it right. We use knives and razor blades every day, so you don't have to be cautious with that. So we're going to do it with this. This is a 21 model Chevrolet GM truck, GMC 3/4 ton. They're all GM, Chevrolet, GMC, you name it. The Cadillacs, they're all the same on the SUVs. So we put these two tools in. Now we're going to take the bottom clip, which has got one lanyard that separates the two pieces, and that makes it, with that loop in the bottom plate down there we put between the door and the door panel, that loop lets that thing slide, so it's like an active loader. Essentially it equals out the pressure, so we're sliding it back and forth, left and right, till we find where we can get out of there without hitting a clip. Now we're cinching it down, and it's pulling the things down even. What I like to do is take the one on the left side over there, and I will usually take my hand and pull it down and then cinch the actual lanyard down. It has a ratcheting set up with a nice metal gears in it. Now for safety precautions, we're putting just a single door panel cover under there. Those are some that we'd made for Oz window films in Australia at one time. We had a couple left over, so now we're just going to hold it under there and cinch it down, and it pulls it down on top of the panel cover. And this is what I used to do, a roll-up window. So all you need, a couple of prep cards, a scrape card, a knife, and you're good to go. So what you're seeing now, with it pulled in there as far as it goes, you're seeing we got a full 1.5 to 2 inches down to slide your film. Sometimes people have problems getting the film all the way down in there, and they say, this thing doesn't work. Well, I got to watching some videos and some feedback, and these people was rolling the windows down 5 or 6 inches and then essentially trying to load the film. Don't matter how many times you try, it's not gonna work. The furthest you can have it roll down is exactly half the length of the loader that goes down in the bottom of the door. That's just the only way it's gonna work. So when we do it, we set it up, and from the inside you want about a 1/2 inch gap. Now from the outside it's going to be bigger because your rubber and overhang hangs over where we're pointing at. That's about a 1/2 inch gap from the inside, 1/4 inch. Get your tool through there. And what this does is essentially leaves enough room for you to load the film down below the loader and the actual seal. So we're gonna go ahead, we already prepped this window, so we're wetting it, and I like to use a fair amount of soap. And you watch when I spray this on here, the way we have our mixture, we have a lot of bubbles, but you don't see a lot of stuff running off. When you got your mixture right, you can see it, the bubbles clean, and the bubbles will make it float. If you got too much soap, it'll run all the way off and not enough, and you won't see any bubbles. So what I've done, I've dropped it over here, and I'm holding the front side in, sliding it in first, which I call the short side. Tuck it in there and simultaneously put it in the front seal. Now when you look at the back, it's not touching anything. If you also look at the film where it's laid over my arm, it's not creased or pointed up where you can put a zipper crease in it. You keep it at a roll. See how it's rolled across the top there? Now what we're going to do, I'm going to take this thing and ease it up. And at the back corner where the radius is at, it goes up in there pretty deep, so I'll take my hand and roll it up under there. We're still not touching the side with the soap and adhesive on it. Now once that thing's rolled up in there, you look up top. You've got a 1/2 inch gap up top, and you've got another 1/2 inch where it slid down in the panel below it. So it will work, and it works great. You just got to have it right. You have to, use common sense and not try to put you can't put a square peg in a round hole unless you do something wrong. So now we're tacking it down with our soft squeegee blade. That's a 79 durometer judge blade, and the link handle. So we tack it down in the center, and I'll go ahead and tack it down the top. You see I'm not pushing it all the way up behind the seal there, front or back. We get it tacked down. I've already went through some stuff to speed the video up. Now we're about to extract the stuff. This is a sledgehammer and an automotive roll-up. We used to sell a lot of these things, and it's my personal favorite to extract with. You won't get any more water out of anything than you do with this right here. And the way they're made, that corner will go up in there behind the seal, and you can still squeegee. And contrary to popular belief, a rubber squeegee or anything rubber soft is going to move the water better than a hard card for the simple fact that it's letting the actual blades dragging on the film and pushing and rolling the actual water out from behind it. Now this is our Vader blade with our slip tape on it. After we get it done, we go across the top of the edge of the window with it because we don't want to tear up our squeegee blade by dragging it across the top edge. And then this reaches up in the corners because it's even thinner and gets up in the seals. So it pushes all that down. Now what we're going to show you here next is what we call cheating the fingers. Now we're putting FX string 2 ceramic on the doors, and we just done the windshield with 70%. Now what we'll do, I'll take a cloth or something, so because my hands are wet and slippy, and take it in the corner of the actual window. Now we start in the center, going straight on down like this. Now these trucks, they do have a tendency to finger up on the bottom if you're not careful, especially if you're loading it or two-staging it without pulling the seal, because the seals are deep. So we put this down in there. Now what I'm showing you, when I push that, you can see that finger start to lay down. Back in the day, we used to call this slamming it when we was using single ply film. Lumar AT, as a matter of fact, is what it was back in the day. It had a great adhesive, and it would stretch. So what we're doing here, most thick ceramics won't do this. This is a 2-ply ceramic. I forget what millage it is, but when you push that with that green rag, we're stretching the film in the corner and pushing this down. And if you've ever done one of these trucks before, you do know and you understand that it's possible to get some fingers down in the bottom of it. But if you see right now, we have no fingers. With that thing pulled down in there and cinched back, it's got the film, a gap opened up so we can put whatever we need down in there and without any issue at all. Now I'm going to release this. You push the release lever there and it lets the pressure off. So when we do that, we'll pull the bottom lanyard out from under the thing. Now this is the important part. We're pulling this panel cover off, and you say there's no water under it. Take care of your people's vehicles while you're doing it. Now when you take this out, do not lean it back or forward, pull straight up. If you lean back or forward, you can catch the film and pull it up. It's just like I say, another common sense thing you need to do. Now we're going to take this thing off of here, and we'll go ahead and finish up around the edges. And now this right here, I'm showing you how it works. It's got a fulcrum right there where my finger's at, and the full length of that is how far you can get film down in there. But if you got the window rolled down, successfully do it, you can only go the full length of that. Half of that width of that is as far as you can roll the window down. If you do, just regular mathematics, you can't get 6 inches of film in a 3-inch gap. So we split it halfway right there, and that's about how far you have your window rolled down from the outside. That's not the gap from the inside. When we're through with one, we turn it around and show you how clean it is. We don't hold the camera way back or do anything like that. We're sure of our work, so we know what to do with it. But you look at it, there's no trash and all that good stuff, and it's just a great job, no creases, and that's how you use a speed loader. I'd lie for you before I'd lie to you, the old film bender. See you guys.